It is Tuesday, February 14th, 2017, the second most important day of the month of February, next to Groundhog Day. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. I'm in my Valentine's Day red, but I don't have any Valentines. I think the best Valentine's Day gift for me would be if you could tag 5 of your closest friends, maybe on Facebook, Twitter, and then share the weather show with Vin Crosby. Just saying, that would warm my heart. And maybe warm up the atmosphere. Well, I'll tell you what, temperatures probably not as chilly as they were today, as the inversion was firmly in place, but we are going to get a little bit of a warming trend slightly. Rain going to move back into the picture. Snow levels are really going to jump. However, not as high as you may think. And I do think winter is not done yet. We're going to talk about all that coming up on the weather show. Oh, we're going to check out, too, how much snowpack is up there and the water equivalent, and let you know just how much above normal we really are. Coming up on the weather show with Vin Crosby. Welcome back to the weather show. Let me start you off with a visible satellite picture of the western areas of the United States. You can see a lot of these clouds just offshore, streaming slowly to the east. They're moving quickly to the north, and that is going to stretch out that system along the coast and slow down its forward movement. By the way, we are right here in Boise. There's the Gem State right in through there, and the clouds, of course, draped out back out here across much of the Pacific, all moving in this direction here and spinning around an area of low pressure that's back out in the Pacific Ocean. The counterclockwise winds kind of wrapping around this system and will continue to do so as we go on in through the next couple of days. Eventually, that system is going to press towards the east. I do want to share with you the upper level winds because it's really a telling story of what's going on in the atmosphere. And so these winds right here I'm going to paint on are up around 35,000 feet in the atmosphere. So that's a lot of strong wind activity that's coming in towards the coast. And what we're seeing here in meteorological terms is called diffluence. In other words, it's a fanning effect. You can see the core of the jet stream is like right in through here. This is where the core of the jet stream is coming up and through this system, and then it's fanning out across the northwest. If you follow the arrows, those are the directions the wind is coming from. It's fanning out across the west and doing this as it wraps around the upper level low in the atmosphere. Anytime we get diffluence aloft, we get convergence down at the surface. So the winds all come together down at the surface. And so this area is going to be very susceptible to some strong winds and heavy rainfall right along the coast. This system will continue to press towards the east and come on in towards the Boise area over the next couple of days. I also want to show you, because of this system that's approaching, the National Weather Service already has winter storm watches up and flood watches up. The flood watches are in the pink and purple colors. The winter storm watches are up in the blue shades of color. So you can see that right in through here across much of southeast Idaho, going in towards northern Utah, back up here, of course, back out by Olympia and up north in northern areas of Idaho, and then back down here. I'm telling you, California is just going to get hammered with this next storm system. A piece of this storm is going to break off to the south and really hammer southern areas of California. And we're going to get our share of moisture as well. The big problem as far as snowpack goes and snow in the higher elevations is the wind direction. The wind direction of this system is coming up pretty much. Let me see if I can click on this. Oh, it's not zoomed out. All right. So that's what I need to do. All right, so the winds from this system are coming screaming from the south and will continue to move on in from a southerly direction as this system presses on in from the west, and that's going to really drive temperatures up and snow elevations up. However, it's still going to be a pretty good little snowstorm as it continues to unfold. One thing that is I want to point out, it's very important with this storm system. What are you looking at here? It looks like a bunch of blues and reds. Well, once again, let me zoom in. There's Idaho right there underneath that purple. You can see the outline, Oregon, Washington. There's the coast right in through there. What we're looking at are winds again at 335,000 feet, 300 millibars, way up there in the upper levels of the atmosphere. this trough of low pressure in that red area, those are wind speeds which are the core of the jet stream, if you will, some of the fastest winds on Earth in the atmosphere happening right there. That is carving down on the backside of this trough of low pressure. So we've got this low pressure system in here, and then we have, let me get some black ink here. We get this system coming on through. I'm going to change the color here to black. So this right here is going to continue pressing on down from the northwest into the southeastern portions of that trough of low pressure. So anytime we see this in meteorology, when it's on this left side of the low pressure system here, that's where we start to see this whole system kind of take over, and it kind of anchors things down. So this is going to be a weight in the atmosphere, and it's going to open up winds in from the south. Eventually, though, this is going to shift towards the north, and as it does, that's when we're going to start to see some cold temperatures move in our direction, and that's when we're going to see snow levels start to fall a bit. All right, what are we looking at here? This is, again, is the upper level winds in the atmosphere. This is a pretty good indication of where the warm air is and the cold air is going. This is the weather map for today. We had this ridge of high pressure over the region. That's why we had the sunshine. That's why we had temperatures getting up slowly into the 40s. But notice there's a lot of cold air back up here to the northwest, out towards Alaska. That's what this blue is in here. So winter is not done yet. And watch what happens as we put this into motion. This is one of the computer forecast models. As I put this into motion, I want you to focus on this area here and watch what happens as that cold air moves on in from the west. See that little shift? That's tomorrow's forecast map. We still stay on the mild side. Then clouds are going to increase from the west, and then check what happens as we go on in towards Thursday. Now, this is interesting because the moisture will be moving on in tomorrow night. Snow levels will be probably getting up around 6,500 feet to start things off. But I think as we go on in through Thursday and this core of cold air kind of moves over, and look at where it's all kind of shaping up here. It's like right over the west central mountains. So Brundage, Tamarack, I think, stand to see more snow than the Bogus Basin area because of the winds coming in from the southerly directions. The snow levels will be higher down here in southern Idaho as opposed back to the northwest. So certainly we are going to see that little minor shift cause, I think, for some pretty good snow totals. All right, here's the water percentages of this machines up there in the atmosphere, up in the mountains. They're called SNOTEL machines, snow telemetry machines. They're actually big slabs of concrete, all kinds of technology hooked up to it, and it measures the weight of the snow, and from that we get the density, and then knowing the specifics of the chemical breakdown of ice and water, we can figure out the snow-water equivalent. And so these are all the SNOTEL sites at Bogus Basin, Bear Basin, Banner Summit, and the Payette Basin, and then Bogus Basin and the Boise Basin to Moores Creek Summit. And notice the numbers in this column right in through here. That's what I want to show you, is the column right in through there. That's what we're going to, let me get my little pen back because I like this thing. That's what we're going to see and focus on for Boise right in through here. You see this column right in here? That is the percentages above normal. And they're all like 100% or higher. Matter of fact, you look at Moores Creek, it's 130% above where we should be this time of the year. 120 for Long Valley. Bogus, 117 above, the percentages above where we should be for normal. So we're looking pretty good right now as far as water goes, regardless of any melting that takes place. And like I said, with all that cold air that's in place, we're not going to lose a whole lot of the snowpack going into early March. This is what I think is going to happen. It's going to come in waves, this moisture from tomorrow night right on in through Thursday night. Bogus Basin, the snow levels are just going to climb pretty high. I think when it the cold air moves in Thursday night, then we'll see some accumulating snow. So anywhere from a dusting of 2 inches up to 2 to 5 inches. I put you right in the middle of the snow weather index. However, back towards the west central mountains, this is where I think things are going to be just fine. We'll get snow coming on in again in waves, higher snow levels through to Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. But then Thursday and Thursday night, that's when the snow levels will start to drop. And I think you're going to be up in that. It's going to be close. I'll go 5 to 10 inches, maybe closer to 10 and possibly even 10 plus in some areas as we go on in towards Thursday night up there around Tamarack and Bogus. So very quickly over the next 3 days, I like clouds on the increase tomorrow in Boise, 50 degrees, still chilly in the morning, 26 with some frost. And then the rain and wind moves on in. I think the temperatures will actually climb overnight Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That's why you're seeing 44 degrees here. And then temperatures will kind of level out around 47 and then drop back Thursday night going into midnight Friday night. That'll actually be the low temperature probably going on in towards Friday morning of 38 degrees. And I think Friday we'll get some breaks down here in the Treasure Valley, but more clouds than sun. So that's the weather show in a little bit of detail for you with the forecast maps. And, boy, thanks to all who have donated. You're allowing me to do things like this with my new computer that you helped the weather show get. Hey, we still need some more equipment like cameras, and I need a new tripod, and I got some other things I'd like to do. So if you feel compelled, please donate to the weather show. Every little dollar helps this poor starving meteorologist. Hey, the weather show with Vin Crosby, share it. Remember, the Valentine's Day gift. Happy Valentine's Day. Share it with 5 friends and family on your Facebook. Thank you, and we'll be back hopefully with another broadcast during the day tomorrow.